Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Raghuji, if you will do the invocation, please. You're on mute.
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणे स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैर्हरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
So we'll straight away start off, because of the limitation of time today, we will start off with the verse number 16 and 17 together. So till 15, if you see, in 15 he has used the term Jnana Yagyena Chapyanye Yajanto Mam Upasate Ekatvena Pritatvena Bahuda Vishwato Mukham, right? That which sees everything, that which is in everything. So we have seen that also in the Rigved itself. In the Rigved, what does it say? Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. Right? Those who know, they are the ones who pray in many forms. It is saying vipra bahuda vadanti, not the ignorant. It's very interesting. Rigved is not saying that the ignorant are worshipping you in fire, worshipping you in the form of an elephant, or in the form of a monkey, or in the form of a stone. Those who are ignorant are thinking of the stone and worshipping the stone. But those who are intelligent, those who are wise, vipra bahuda vadanti, those who are wise, they know that this cosmic manifestation can be contained in that limited stone or that elephant. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa was once questioned, and he very beautifully answered. So he said, somebody came and said, how can the divine be in such a stone? the divine. It is infinite. It is huge. How can it be confined in this small stone? Oh, Thakur smiled and said, do you believe that the infinite divine that you are talking of is omnipotent? Yes. So then how are you limiting its power to be staying in the stone? If it is omnipotent, it can choose to be in the stone also, right? It can choose to do anything. Who are you to limit the power and say, oh, no, it can't be in this stone? Which is why I use always this point comes up. I had this beautiful story between Akbar and Birbal. Have I told this story before? Akbar and Birbal? No. So Akbar used to ask weird questions. So he asked this question: Akbar bada ki Allah?
Okay, yes.
Right? Another big challenge. Because if you say Akbar, then Akbar will say, "Tum jhoot bol rahe ho. Allah is the creator." But if you say Allah, then Akbar may get angry. So Birbal very, very confidently said, Akbar is the greatest. Akbar is greater than Allah. Allah cannot say, leave my kingdom. Akbar can do that. Such a beautiful way of putting it, isn't it? This entire universe is his kingdom. This entire universe is his manifestation. Vishwato Mukha. So then he goes on in the next two slokas, very beautifully. This is a prelude. Okay, this is a prelude to chapter 10. So he says, Aham kraturaham yajnaha. Aham kraturaham yajnaha. Swadhaham maham aushadham. Swadhaham maham aushadham. Aham kraturaham yajnaha. Swadhaham maham aushadham. Mantroham mahamevajyam. Mantroham mahamevajyam. Aham agniraham hutam. Aham agniraham hutam. Mantroham mahamevajyam. Aham agniraham hutam. Aham kraturaham yajnaha. Swadhaham maham aushadham. Mantroham mahamevajyam. Aham agniraham hutam. Next sloka also will continue with this because it's the same thought. Pitahamasya jagato mata. Pitahamasya jagato mata. Dhata pitamahaha. Dhata pitamahaha. No, this is, sorry, my mistake. Pitahamasya jagataha. Break that up as jagataha. Then it will come properly. Pitahamasya jagataha. Mata dhata pitamaha. Mata dhata pitamaha. Pitahamasya jagataha. Mata dhata pitamaha. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Riksamaya jurevacha. Riksamaya jurevacha. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Riksamaya jurevacha. Pitahamasya jagataha. Mata dhata pitamaha. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Riksamaya jurevacha. Aham kratu. Kratu is a Vedic ritual, right? It's a yagya. Done in the a yagya done in a specific format with three agnis, right? There is a Dakshina Agni, there is a Garhapatya Agni, and there is a Havya Agni. These three agnis are put together, and they are in three different types of shapes of the Agni Kunda. It also is of different shapes. So one is round, one is circular, and the other is in a triangular. Three different agnis. There are three different types of agnis that are brought over there. The Garihapatya Agni is brought from the Chula. The Havya Agni is created over there by rubbing sticks, right? So all these different types of these are called kratus. So aham kratu. I am the Vedic ritual. I am the Vedic ritual. I am the yajna. Right? Yajna will typically, if in English translation will be translated as sacrifice, we know that it is not sacrifice. I am Swadha. I am the mantra that is used for giving oblation. I am the mantra. Swadha, there are two mantras. One is called Swadha, the other is called Swaha. Now, Swadha and Swaha are carriers, right? They are carriers. So Agni is the post office, right? And the postman or the post women are Swadha and Swaha. So post office has to first receive the material. You have to give it to the post office. You want to send something, you send a letter, you have to give it to the post office, right? So you go to the post office receives it, sorts it, puts it in the right compartment. Then the postman has to take it and deliver it. Swaha is Agni's wife who delivers to the Devas. Swadha is Agni's wife who delivers to the Pitrus. So, two couriers for two different places. And they have permanent passes. Okay, you know, you've been in Bombay, you have this monthly pass for Western Railway. So you can't use the Western Railway pass for Eastern Railway. So immediately, Swadha has a Western Railway pass. She can go from the fire to Pitrulok. Swaha has a Eastern Railway pass. She can go from the fire to the Devalok. Swadha is the oblation, the mantra that completes the oblation. Right? Swadha is the mantra that completes the oblation. Then Aham Aushadham. Aushadham. Why Aushadham? Why? What has Aushadhi got to do with this? Typically in most kratus, the dravya that is used in the havan is a mixture of various things. Cooked rice is generally one of them, which is called havis, right? But then cooked rice in various forms, cooked rice with gur, cooked rice with ghee, cooked rice with milk. These are all different types of havis. Other than that, various types of plant material is also offered. For example, in a Ganapati havan, durva grass is offered, right? And the smoke from this fire is supposed to be healthy. It's supposed to cleanse your system and so on and so forth. In a Navagraha homam, for Surya, the arka tree, the twigs of the arka tree are offered for Surya. The twigs of the shami tree are offered for Shani. So these various aushadhis are offered in a havan. So when he's using the word aushadhi here, it is in link to the word kratu. So it is in link with the word kratu. So in the kratu, what is being offered? The aushadhis are being offered. Then he says, I am the mantra that is causing this havan to happen. Mantroham. Mantroham. Aham eva. Eva means also. Ajyam. Ajyam is ghee. So without ghee, the havan cannot happen. Right? So ghee is an essential part of any havan. So therefore, I am the ajyam. Then he says, I am the fire. I am the fire. I am aham agni. And aham hutam. I am also the act of sacrifice. I am the act of doing the yajna. Now, can you link this with one particular shloka that we
Brahmarpadam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagna, Brahmanahutam.
Perfect. Right? So this shloka is the link between the Brahman and Ishvara, which we will see in chapter 10. In chapter 10, we will see Ishvara. Right? Ishvara is a physical manifestation of Brahman in this universe. So here, instead of using the word Brahma, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. Right? Brahman. Everything is Brahman. The Arpanam is Brahman. The Ahuti is Brahman. The Havis is Brahman. Same thought he carries forward, but he now breaks it down into more material manifestations. I am Agni. I am Swadha. I am the mantra. I am the Aushadhi. I am the Kratu. I am the fire. Everything he describes now in a more material way. And then he goes on to say, I am Pitamahasya Asya of this. Pitamaha. Pitamaha means grandfather, literally. But also it means Pita Mahan. right? Great father. It has another meaning. The sandhi, if you break it in a different way, it will be great father. Yes, Raghuji.
So I think there is one more significance that I see in the Brahmarpana Brahmavi and as well as this one. See, when you realize that all of it is the same, you break down the perception of differences. They're all the same. And when you take it to the extent you talk about the act, the actor, the acted items, the reason for it is being done, to whom it is going. When you say all of it is the same, in a sense, it is kind of cleansing your perception of the universe around you, because you start to say, oh, okay, there is no difference. There is no he and me. It is all one. You lose the concept of anger or fear or all those things. They begin to vanish because there is no more perceived difference.
Very true. See, if your Gurudev's beautiful example of this particular point is that, let us say that you felt something fall into your eye, or you have had an itch in your eye, and you took off your glasses and you started scratching your eye, and your finger by mistake hit your eye. Your eye became red, it started watering. Will you take your finger and cut it off? Will you be angry with your finger? You can't be angry with your finger, because the eye and the finger are the same. You identify both as you. Now, if I identify this whole country as me, saying it is easy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? Saying it is easy. But if I identify that as my country, then extend that and say I identify this entire humanity as mine, and then I extend it further and say I extend this to all living things, and then extend it even further to say that all inanimate things also. Now, intellectually, this is easy to understand. To realize this is the lifetime's task, right? For example, right at this point of time, the Vyavaharika Satta is that as soon as you step out of the house, you see that your car, which was parked on the road in the correct place, some government vehicle passed by, tractor passed by, broke it completely, crushed it, and went on. And can you say, oh, the tractor and I are the same, and therefore I will not feel anything? Right? So at the Vyavaharika level, our understanding, our identification with me and mine is so strong that it takes a lifetime to overcome that. So again, he goes back in the next sloka, he says, Pitaham asya Pitah. So there is two ways to read this. It says Pitamaha, right? Another meaning of saying this. In the last, he says Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Pitamaha means grandfather. So I'm not only the father, I'm also the grandfather. What does that mean? How can you be the father and the grandfather? It means I am the source. I mean, it's a very poetic way of saying I am the ultimate source, right? There's no extraneous meaning here. I am the mother. I am the sustainer, dhata, dharayati iti dhata, of this material world, universe, jagata, right? This ever-changing material universe of this ever-changing, the word itself, jagata, jayati gacchati tishtati, right? This ever-changing material world, I am the sustainer. I am the unchanging sustainer. Vedavyam, Vedyam means know, the goal of knowledge, right? To know. The goal of knowledge is to know. The goal of knowledge itself is to become knowledge, to know, to transform into knowledge. Vedyam, to know, the goal of knowledge, that which should be known. Pavitram, the purified, or the pure, completely pure. Omkara. Omkara is completely pure because it is the first nada. I have explained this earlier in the first possibly session that we did, that if you look at the Omkara has three parts. Mandukya Upanishad very clearly enunciates those. In the Mandukya Upanishad, it says Akara, Ukara, Makara. Right? Now, when you do the Akara, Ukara, Makara, you do not use your tongue. You are using your throat and your lips only. Your tongue remains in the same position without changing anything in your tongue. Now, the tongue is the cause of Vikara. Right? Whatever I'm saying now is a Vikara, changes. Whereas Uma have no changes. They are the first manifestation of material world. And therefore, he says it is pure. It is untainted by Vasana. Untainted by Vasana. Hence, Pavitram Omkara. And then this Omkara breaks up into the Vedas. Rik, Sama, Yajura. Now, why is Atharva not mentioned here? Okay, so that there is a story. Basically, the fourth Veda of the Atharva is a later inclusion into the Vedic system. And a whole clan of Rishis called the Atharva Angirasas. The Atharva Angirasa Rishis, they were the ones who collated this information, and then there was actually, there were debates, there were fights with the Vashishthas on one hand and the Angirasis on the other. And the Vashishthas were the purists. And they said, no, these are all related only to material knowledge, and therefore they should not come in. And this is related to medicine, this is related to warfare, this is related to economics. All of this is material knowledge. We do not need to include it in spiritual knowledge. Atharva Angirasis, ultimately, they won the battle because they said all knowledge is pure. Knowledge in itself has nothing to discriminate. And any knowledge can take you to oneness. So, however, here he has used three, but we have to understand that it means four. Rik, Sama, and Yajus. Yes, please.
Wasn't it Shiva who accorded it the status of
so the
Veda and also gave him a star or something like that?
Yeah. So the story goes as that when the debate happened between the Vashishthas and the Angirasis, the arbitrator was Shiva himself. So, and then, I mean, actually, for that matter, the story goes into throwing mantra empowered missiles at each other also. So all of that is also part of the story, right? So anyway, so that is 16 and 17. We go to verse number 18. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Nivasa sharanam surit. Nivasa sharanam surit. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Nivasa sharanam surit. Prabhava pralaya sthanam. Prabhava pralaya sthanam. Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Prabhava pralaya sthanam. Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Nivasa sharanam surit. Prabhava pralaya sthanam. Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Gatir. Gati means here the two things. It could mean one, it means the final destination. Paramagati, we see, Paramagati, the final destination. Gati also means speed, right? The force, the motion that is taking you towards the final goal is also called Gati. So Gati, Bharta, sustainer, he who fills up, right? He who fills everything. This is called Bharta. Prabhu. Prabhu is the person who is the master. Sakshi, he is the witness. Nivasaha. Nivasaha, he who stays, the place to where you stay. Taranam, the shelter. Turid. Tu rid. Tu means good. Rid means heart. The good-hearted, right? Which means friend. Turid, the word literally means friend. He who is good-hearted towards you. Prabhava, meaning the origin. Pralaya, dissolution. Sthanam, place where it stays. nidhanam, resting place, bijam, seed, avyayam, imperishable. Gatir, Bharta, Prabhu, Sakshi, Nivasa, Sharanam, Surit, all of these are mine. All of these are me. I am the final abode. I am the shelter. I am your friend. I am the origin. I am the end. I am the resting place. I am the repository of the eternal seed, from which again this whole cycle will begin. So, you who are thinking of yourself as limited are nothing but a part of me. You are in me. You are a part of me. And if you are a part of me, if you are a part of the infinite, what is your definition? You are also infinite. Because the infinite cannot be divided. If it could be divided, it would not be infinite, right? That is the definition of infinite. And that is why what does the Ishavasya Upanishad, the invocation mantra says, Purnamada, Purnamidam, that is whole, this is whole, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate. If you take away part of the whole from the whole, Purnasya Purnamadaya, that still remains the whole. Purnameva Vashishyate. What remains is still the whole. Beautiful description of infinity. So that is what he is saying. You're saying, I am infinite. He is declaring himself to be infinite. And where do you think you stay? You stay in me. I am your abode, Nivasa. When you are in trouble, where do you think you are taking shelter? You take shelter in me. Whoever you call, whatever is the form in which you worship, that is me. So very, very powerful shloka here. See, what happens is this all-encompassingness is something that we have to understand. Our range of emotions, right, is today my wife made my favorite breakfast. She is so nice. Then before lunch, she had to go for a meeting and therefore she forgot to make lunch, or she did not make lunch. She called me up and said, make lunch for yourself and for my father. Now she is not so nice, right? And then she comes back from the meeting and says, where is my tea? Oh, now she is not nice at all. See what's happening? Our range of emotions is so very varied. With the same person through the same day, we have different ranges of emotions. If you are all-encompassing, similar to what Raghuji was talking about, if I am all-encompassing, then can't be any variations. There is no variation. In the ocean, right, in the river, there are hundreds of variations because it goes up and down and it flows and so on and so forth. In the ocean, there are only perceived variations. Perceived variations on the surface. Inside, it is all very calm. The greatest tsunami on the surface does not do anything at the bottom. So that is what this shloka very categorically states. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Surit Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. This is a shloka of prayer. It is a shloka of surrender. It is also a shloka of how you relate to the divine. And as we move from Brahman to understanding Brahman, we cannot understand Brahman directly, and therefore Sri Krishna will take us through understanding it through Ishvara. As we move towards understanding, looking at Ishvara, we start looking with a feeling of awe, with a feeling of love, with a feeling of respect, and with a feeling of joy. That this shloka, at least for me, evokes this feeling very strongly. And therefore, it's a shloka of prayer also. Let us move to the next shloka, last shloka for the day. Tapamyaham varsham, tapamyaham varsham, nigrinnamrita srijami cha, nigrinnamrita srijami cha, tapamyaham varsham, nigrinnamrita srijami cha. Let me break this up first. Nigrinami utsrujami. Nigrinam utsrujami cha. Tapamyaham varsham. Nigrinam utsrujami cha. Amritam chaiva mrityuscha sat asatchaham Arjuna. Amritam chaiva mrityuscha sat asatchaham Arjuna. So Amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham. So the double cha there. Sadasachaham Arjuna. Tapamyaham aham varsham. Tapami. I radiate heat, which means I am the sun. Right? I am that which causes this world to be illuminated. I am tapamyaham. Aham varsham. Varsham means I am that which is rain. Varsha here is not Varsha means not the year. Year is in Sanskrit called Samvatsara. The year is called Samvatsara, not Varsha. Right? Varsha is also another word, but typically the word used for time here, it would be Samvatsara. So here what we use, Varsha means the rain. So I am the one who holds rain and I am the one who releases rain. Tapamyaham aham varsham nigrinami, withholding, utsrijami, sending forth. Nigrinam utsrijami cha. So I am the one who holds forth the rain. I am the one who sends it to you. Amritam chaiva mrityuscha. I am that which is immortal. I am also death. Mrityuscha sat, that which exists. Sat asat, that which is temporary. Asat does not mean false. Asat means that which is temporary. Asat, so that which is matter. Sat means that which is eternal, which is what we call Brahman, or what we call divine, what we call Atman. So Sat, Asat, Cha, Aham, Arjuna. Now here, he very clearly encompasses the entire, including the temporary changing matter. That also is nothing but me. Right? He also very clearly in chapter 7 had said that my Prakriti is my lower energy. I have a para energy, which is called life force. In this chapter now, he redeclares that by saying that Amritam chaiva mrityuscha. That means I am immortality, which means I am that which is continuously immortal. And I am also the cause for identification, which causes death. Death is nothing but because of identification, right? It is only when you identify with the body that there can be death. Otherwise, there is no death. Because what dies? The body dies. I don't die. I am the eternal soul. I will transmigrate. I will keep on vasamsi jirnani. I will shed off this body. I will go to some other body. I will keep doing that. But I don't die. But if I identify with this body, then I think that I die. That identification is also me. Because it is my Maya that has caused you to get into this identification. So I am that which is Sat. I am that which is eternal. I am that which is Asat. I am that which is temporary. I am everything. I encompass everything. That is what this shloka says. Let us end for today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Pramilaji was very consciously watching her tongue. No, I thought you were looking at your, I felt that you're trying to be aware whether your tongue was moving or not. Okay. Chaliye. We'll meet next week. And tomorrow no class. Parokshanipati is getting jinxed. I'm traveling to Bangalore tonight. And then I'll be in Bangalore tomorrow and day after. I'll see if I can reschedule to Wednesday. Let's see if that works. Hari Om.